Hey everybody, and welcome to the first ever Bullseye Bulletin. Thanks for joining us today. I'm going to be your host, Jonathan Clickguard.
And I'm Sean Barrett.
All right, and we're going to take you through some topics like we normally would with the buzz. And I'm going to go ahead and just get started here. So the first thing that we have to talk to you guys about is the new guest Flan program is back. Hooray!
Yes.
You guys probably remember the new guest Flan program from before. We're bringing it back because we've gotten through this busy summer period of time and it's slowing down a little bit for us now, so we feel like we can do it. It's a super important program for us because it's one of the only ways that we market to our guests, meeting new guests and showing them an amazing time and adding this sort of generosity to their experience really helps get people coming back in, and that of course is extremely important right now. So we want to turn that back on. Of course, as you'll remember, if you recognize 3 new guests and we buy dessert for them, a flan, then we will buy you dinner. So there's a benefit in there for you. But I think the bigger benefit, aside from getting more guests to return to our restaurant, which leaves you with busier sections, is that you should get a really nice tip from it as well, because guests appreciate it. They, see it as an extra layer of hospitality. So remember to do that. A couple things to remember. Please modify your items correctly. They should be modified new G-Man runs so managers know how to do them. And for all of you managers who are listening out there, remember that it's extremely important to discount the item before the end of the guest experience. Before you run the flan out, you should discount it on toast. And the reason it's really important now, even more so than before, is because we're having people pay at the table. So we don't want people to be surprised by a charge for flan that we're supposed to be buying for them. All right, now over to you, Sean.
Oh, thank you, John. Also, remember to keep it that's part.
Yeah.
Nice little. So brunch happy hour's back. If you're not already running it, it's coming back to your store Saturday and Sunday from open to 1 p.m. The happy hour menu is going to be available both digitally and in paper form. These are intended to be add-on items. We're not trying to help people create some mutant meal of tiny little plates of French toast and bacon. It's meant to be a little extra sweet or savory something to add on to the dining experience. We're predicting brunch to be busy now that kids are back in school because it's the weekend and Daddy needs a mimosa.
What kind of mimosa guy are you, Sean? Are you a grapefruit or an orange mimosa guy?
Actually, I just forego the juice and I add a shot of vodka.
Who needs to cut it with juice, right? When you can add vodka.
Weekend experience.
Yeah, that's a pro tip.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the next thing here. I want to talk about, Roca Añejo. So we're bringing a tequila back that we've had on our menu before. Roca Añejo is, Patron Roca Añejo. A really great product from Patron. It's made in the old world style using a tahona, which is a giant volcanic stone that they use to crush up the roasted agave before they ferment it and then ultimately distill it. The Roca product is a product that's made entirely in the old world way. They ferment it in these giant pine tanks. We know because we were actually there. It was a fun trip. I don't know that I remember that much from this part, but I had to do a little researching and it all came back to me. The product is very smooth. The rest of the Patron products, the process is that they crush the agave in this giant roller mill and then they distill it in stainless steel tanks. So it's very commercial. This is not that way, and so you definitely taste that in there. The end result is a product that is 88 proof, and there's some nice hints of wood, raisin, and grapefruit in there. They age it in their barrels for 14 months. It's a really great product, and we hope that you sell it to your guests.
Oh, sorry, I was just enjoying this delicious Fiji water. Speaking of Fiji water, we're selling it now. The pandemic is giving us a great opportunity to sell a bottled water product. People want safe, sealed consumables, and we think that some of them are going to ask for a bottled water option. We also see a lot of requests for just flat bottled water to go, as opposed to sparkling, so that's going to meet that need. Fiji water is also just a great product. It's natural artisanal water. It's filtered through volcanic rock, and it's bottled at the source. So it's like taking a sip of a tropical vacation. The price will be $3.50. It is amazing, John. The price will be $3.50, same as Topo Chico. It's going to be stored chilled behind the bar, served with the Collins glass, no straw. We're saving the turtles. When dropping off, open the bottle and set it delicately, as well as the cap, down by the Collins glass. If you would like to drink one, we want you to stay hydrated. We care. Just please ring it in like you would any employee meal.
Yeah, just like a Topo Chico. You just got to ring it in and then you can have one.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about the bag handoff. So this one is for hosts or for managers who are handing off takeout orders to guests, or we're handing out delivery orders to guests as well. We've recently seen some mistakes with that, particularly in the rare but situation that does occur where people have the same first name. We really need you to say both the first name and the last name when you're handing off the order. Verify that you're giving it to the right person, so we don't have these issues where we hand somebody the wrong order and we create a bad experience for them. It's really important that we create good experiences for our takeout guests, because we can't fix them once they leave the building. If we are creating bad experiences with those guests, they're not going to trust us with their takeout orders. And it's such an emerging and important part of our business right now. We're doing like 40 to 50% of our business in takeout. We can't afford to be not executing well in those areas. Another thing I'd say about the handoff as well, which is an area where we see some mistakes, is just make sure that if there are drinks included, whether they're non-alcoholic or alcoholic, that you're grabbing those ones as well. Because there's nothing worse than getting home and looking forward to a margarita, and it's not there. So, yeah, great.
Feedback? Not anymore. With so many adding their names to the list, the quote time accuracy feedback is not important anymore. We don't get info from those guests. We only get it from guests who we add to the list, which should be few and far between. Given this, it's really important that we're feeding the app good data, meaning keeping it updated with tables that just got seated, tables that are getting up. This helps the program learn the algorithm and average sitting time, which gives it accurate quote time to people adding themselves to the list. So just keep that tablet updated and don't worry about signing some silly piece of paper anymore.
Nice to not have that to worry about anymore, isn't it?
So nice.
Right on. Okay, let's talk a little bit about calling out sick. So this is a kind of a tricky one to talk about, but we like to acknowledge reality around here. And so we'll just say that calling out sick is a major event for us now. When somebody calls out sick, it sets off into motion a whole bunch of activity. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to ask you if you have COVID symptoms, which is basically anything. We're going to ask you to go get tested, which means someone's going to put a swab up your nose. It's very uncomfortable. You don't want to do that. We will also interview you to find out if you've been in close contact with anybody, which is anybody that you spent more than 15 minutes with without a mask. Even if you had a mask on, we may decide that those people also need to go get a test before they can return to work. You have to show a negative result before you can return to work, which can take days. So if you really need money and you need to work, you could be out a bunch of shifts, not just one. And so it's really important that everybody understands sort of the chain of events that happens when you call out sick. Now, if you want the day off and you're really not sick, my suggestion would be to either just be honest with us or to come up with a different excuse so that you prevent us and yourself from having to go through all this activity for really no reason. So, yeah.
Let's talk about something a little lighter, salt packets and hot sauce. Some like it salty, some like it hot. But remember, these are only brought out per request. We should not be offering them. For salt packets, just put 3, no more than 3, in a ramekin and bring them out. For hot sauce, just fill a half a metal ramekin and bring it out. We can always bring people more if they want, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're trying to do with that one, is just prevent waste. Once something's been at the table, we have to throw it out. And so, unless you're a salty dog, you're not going to need like 10 salt packets, maybe you do. But 3 is the magic number. So, great. Well, thanks for listening to this edition of the Bullseye Bulliten. It's the very first one, the inaugural edition. We feel good about it. We hope you do too. We had fun making it, and we hope you have fun watching it.
Stay safe out there.